A long time no see. I can't explain my absence that much. I just didn't make a video, but back here with the Wicked movie review, and oh my gosh, this movie, despite its controversies, turned out to actually be really good. And speaking from someone who's gotten to see Wicked on Broadway, this movie literally does it so much justice. So put on your seatbelts. Wait, I'm not gonna steal that. Sorry. Strap in and we'll get to the review. First off, the actors for the characters they played, they portrayed them perfectly and they were cast like you could tell that whoever was in charge of casting put thought into this. Like they need a raise for how well the actors portrayed their characters and that they chose those people to ask to be in the movie and they agreed cuz this was literally incredible and I I didn't know if Jeff Goldblum would be good for the wizard, but he literally is. Also, side note, I looked up to see how to spell his last name for my notes, and I found out that he he was literally in his 40s for Jurassic Park. Like, how was no one talking about how this guy ages slowly? Like, he looks younger than he is. He's in his 70s now. Like, that's really hard to believe. Anyway, that was a side note. Next up, the CGI in the story, which it's even crazy for me to say this because it didn't even look like CGI like how you would think. Like it wasn't bad at all. But how they did the CGI in this movie, it was done in such a perfect way that it doesn't interfere with the storytelling. Like it aids the story more than hurts it. So I think they did a really good job with all the CGI elements. Third on my list, Dancing Through Life is still my favorite song in Wicked, and I love how they choreographed it and how this might just be me thinking. I don't know if this was fully planned out. It probably was, honestly. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the only one who's thought this. But um the idea to put it in a library was genius because only Fiyero could get all the students studying in the library. Only he could get them all to stop and dance with him. And I think that was just so genius for his character and how his character affects those around him. I assume this was planned because I'm not gonna sit here and say that wow, I'm such a genius. Like, this is why this scene is perfect. Like, it was probably planned. I just have to put that out there that that's what I noticed. And that is a really cool aspect for Fiyero. The only thing that I think could have been done just the tiniest bit better that it doesn't really matter, but the only thing that shocked me that I wish was in the movie was how Fiyero was introduced in the musical because he in the musical he's introduced like he has this driver who's driving him into the town or the academy or whatever, and he's just like in the back of the thing being driven like, okay, so see you later, dude, I'll see you when I get kicked out of this school. And in the movie I do wish that he was introduced that way too, but whatever, I understand it's not that big of a deal, but he still was able to show his character in many other ways. But that was just my take on that. And I think it's fine to have a few things you want to change about a movie, even if it does impress you. Um, Fourth thing is when I walked out of that theater, I literally thought to myself, this is how all musical to movie adaptations should be done. It was literally executed so perfectly that I was just like, if if other people want to adapt other movies, this needs to be high on their list for movies to study because this was perfect, like a perfect adaptation from the musical. I assume from the book. I haven't read the book, but I do have its sequel, that I want to read now because I'm in that mood again. But it was just adapted so well. Number 5 on the list. The costume design was so good, and I especially really liked Glinda's costumes, and they fit her so well. They looked good on screen too, and so if you can do both those as a movie maker, that's literally awesome because you want it to be you want to show their character, but you also want to do it in a way that's visually appealing. And I think they did so well on the costume design. Also, the references to Wizard of Oz, which, like, if you didn't know, I mean, if you were watching this video, you probably did, but Wicked is a prequel to Wizard of Oz, and the references to the original movie were so good, and I think they were able to do it a bit more in the movie because on the Broadway show, like, you can't show as much and stuff, and really, like, the references come to Act 2 when it's taking place when Dorothy is in Oz, but like the references they did to Wizard of Oz in part 1, they were really good. Anyways, I know it's a short video and stuff, but I just had to get my thoughts out there, and I also want to let you guys know I'm still alive. And with that, I'm excited for part 2, and I assume it's gonna be just as good and or better than part 1, and I would really be disappointed if it wasn't, but I assume that they know what they're doing and it's gonna be better, or at least just as good, so can't wait to see that even if it's in 11 months, almost 11 months. Either way, uh hope y'all are doing well, and I'll see you whenever I decide to post another video.